word problems in lesson 49. These are going to be word problems involving rate. All right, so let's do some simple ones. These are all going to be the same rate. 50 miles in 1 hour is the same as 100 miles in 2 hours, or 200 miles in 4 hours. Those are all the same rate. Right? There's no change in what I just wrote besides the numbers. They're all still 50 miles per hour. Okay, that is a constant. All right, there's two ways I can write unit rate. Now, we're going to use this weird letter for a K, which is actually going to stand for a word that doesn't, in English, is not spelled with a K, it's spelled with a C, and that is constant. Because the German mathematicians that did this don't spell constant with a C, they spell it with a K. So in math, when we talk about rates, we use a K. Even though in English it should be a C.
So K means constant?
K is going to stand for constant for us. And in this, these three rates that are all equal to each other, I have K equals Y divided by X to get, that's my constant, 50 miles in 1 hour. Now, if I rewrote this problem, because say I am missing a different piece of the puzzle here, another way to write with the constant would be Y equals K divided by X, which is something you've been doing a little bit already. So we're going to go back to our old fancy ratio boxes and keep them very simple today. But some people that like to organize things, it's a great organization tool. All right, so these boxes take this format. Case 1, case 2. By case, I'm talking about situation 1, situation 2, not briefcase, bookcase. Case 1 and case 2. Say you were carrying around 6 books. And those 6 books weighed 15 pounds. Do you have a ratio?
Yeah.
6 books weigh 15 pounds. How much do 20 books weigh? So I'll put 20 here because they go in the same row with the books. And we make a proportion. We're just doing proportions again. So that's 6 over 15 equals 20 over whatever letter you want to come up
X.
with. All right. We went traditional on that. So that's 6x equals 15 times 20, or x equals 15 times 20 divided by 6. I can simplify this one. 6 is 2 and 3, right? So 15 divided by 3 is?
5.
5. And 20 divided by 2 is?
10.
And 10 times 5 is? 50. So if I was lugging around 20 of those books that had that constant rate, it would be 50 pounds. Now let's work at the problem a little bit of a different way. Let's figure out how much each book actually weighs. 6 books equal 15 pounds. How much is 1 book? How would we figure that out? Well, I would divide 15 by 6. Because either one's the same, you'll get the same answer. But let's do 15 divided by 6. Oops, that should be a 2. So each book is going to weigh 2.5 pounds on average. That's saying each book weighs 2.5 pounds, which is roughly your science book. Not your social studies book. That's a little bit bigger. All right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right, let's talk about my friend Julio. He's down by the schoolyard. That's an old song, by the way. My mom used to listen to it all the time. Julio down by the schoolyard. Look it up sometime. Another bad song. Really old. It's older than me. Julio. I like that name. And I know I'm not pronouncing it with the correct accent. Is riding in a 50-kilometer bike race. Julio, 50-kilometer bike race. He passed the 15-kilometer mark in 27 minutes. Okay, so I gave you 3 pieces of information. How long is this bike race? That's the first thing I told you. 50 kilometers. And I said he passed the 15K mark at minute 27. So what's my ratio?
50 to...
Case 1, case 2. I'm not going to write case 1, case 2. I gave 15 and 27 are related. So that's my first ratio. All these problems you're going to get 3 pieces of information. So where's my 50 going to go? Top one, because that's kilometers. Here's minutes. Okay? So here's my minutes right here. So I'll just do M for minutes. Same thing. Do we have a proportion? Of course we do. So 50, I usually don't multiply my numerators. Don't. What is 15, by the way? Break that up for me.
3 times 5.
3 times 5. Because this will make this a lot easier. 27 divided by 3 is what?
9.
And 50 divided by 5 is what?
10.
So, how long is Julio going to be bike riding?
90 minutes.
90 minutes. So M equals 90 minutes. Okay? Yeah, I'll leave it up. So how fast is old Julio going? How fast is Julio going? This is a little bit tougher to figure out. Not going very fast, I'll give you that much. Actually, it kind of is. All right, so let's take our original ratio, 15 over 27, and let's break it down as far as we can get. Let's reduce that. Let's reduce this one.
1 over 3. 5 over 9.
5 over 9. So he's going 5 kilometers for every 9 minutes. He's going at a decent clip. Every 9 minutes he's going 5 kilometers. He could go faster in a bike race, but 50 kilometers is a long way.
How much?
That's like going from here to downtown Minneapolis
Whoa. In a minute?
in an hour and a half.
In a minute.
That's about from here to downtown Minneapolis. So, all right,
Perseverance.
perseverance.
Good job, Julio.
All right, so here we go. You go and buy the world's best candy bar. 3 of those candy bars cost $20.25. World's best candy bar. 3 candy bars cost $20.25. Do I have a rate?
Yes.
Yes, I do. I just gave it to you. 3 candy bars cost you $20.25. I said that they're world's best. They're going to cost you a little bit. Okay, how much? Give me an estimate. That'd make this a lot easier. of what 7 candy bars would cost us? All right, first off, let's find out what 7 candy bars cost. All right, I want to know about what 7 candy bars are going to cost. That's 3 over 20.25 equals 7 over, I don't know, C for candy bars. Cost. All right. Mantle.
It's $47.
$47.25. Good job. Now, Mark's credit. How much is 1 candy bar? All right. So to arrive at our numbers, the first number, 47.25, is proportion. So you multiply by 7, divide by 3. That one's a much harder one to break down because I have prime numbers and they can't really do that. So you have to multiply by 7, divide by 3. And the second one, you divide by 3. 2075 divided by 2025 divided by 3. So, good. Nice work. Questions? Proportions. Lots of proportions lately.
They're fun though.